Hey guys, Steve and Don here from Top Guns out of Terre Haute, Indiana. Today we have Woody from Glock, and Woody has brought the long-awaited Glock 43X and the Glock 48 with you.
I have.
So tell us just a little bit about the differences. I'm holding the 43, of course. Don's got the 43X, you've got the 48. Tell us, what are some of the major differences we're going to see here?
Some of the biggest things you're going to see right out, round count. We're going up in magazine capacity to 10 rounds plus 1, which gives you a total of 11 on board. The nice thing about that, the grip is just a wee bit longer, so instead of having that flex play when you do a magazine extension for that round count, you've got a full complete grip, so there's no flex or play in it. You also have a little bit wider grip on the 43X and the 48. It is about 1 millimeter wider than the 43, so you get a much better purchase on the gun. The slide length is the same as the 43 on the 43X, and it is a single stack 19 on the 48. So you're getting it just a wee over 4 inches on the barrel.
Excellent.
So both of these are being offered in 10 rounds, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And the configuration that we've seen has been this bitone. So can you tell me about the finish on these?
The finish is very similar to what was on the 19X, which is that PVD finish. We did that in a silver/aluminum color to give it that contrast of that two-tone finish for a little buyer appeal.
And initially, this is the only configuration that's being released?
Correct.
Okay. So, and these are coming out in the next couple
Today?
Well, yeah, today they're going to start hitting the dealers. Monday they'll be on shelves, so they'll be for sale on Monday.
All right, fantastic.
Excellent. I noticed they did add the front cocking serrations.
Correct.
Yep.
Any other major differences that you can see between the 43 that we're used to and the 43X and the 48s?
Realistically, there's not much. Again, just that small addition. Matter of fact, I loaded up the 43X the other day. I drove 400 miles in it, with it in an inside the waistband holster. Never even noticed I had it, so it feels just like that 43 does.
All right, so my initial response when I heard about the guns, and I hadn't had them in my hand yet, was my immediate response was, oh my gosh, I can't wait to have the 43X. And then after I thought about it for a while, I thought, you know what? I think I really actually want the 48. We'll talk about it. We're going to shoot both today, and then as we're wrapping up the day, I'm going to talk a little bit about why I think I want the 48. And that's why they're making 2 different ones, because each of us have different needs. So
absolutely,
your needs are different than mine, different than his. Let's shoot these things and see how they do.
Sounds good.
The first set we did kind of to just test it for accuracy. Obviously, it's what we would expect out of a Glock. Now we're going to do a little bit of rapid firing. Just stick them center mass. Don't really care as long as we're hitting center mass. That's all we're really concerned with on this one. So we'll go with some rapid fire here. 48 will be first. 43X. I'll be honest, I don't notice a lot of difference between the two as far as how they fire.
Honestly, like you, I don't think I feel a lot of difference. I'm kind of in line with Woody. I like the way the 48 feels better, but I think a lot of that's just my hand. Just that little bit of length just seems to make a difference.
All right, so Woody, naturally, it would seem most logical for someone who is wanting to go with a compact firearm that they would go with the most compact firearm they can while still carrying the most amount of rounds as possible, which would probably lean towards the 43X versus the 48.
Correct.
I actually have at least one reason I would rather have the 48. I'm curious to hear which one you would choose and why, and his reason as to which one he would choose and why. Go ahead.
Well, you know, again, I prefer the 43X. I just like the way it balances in my hand a little bit better. It kind of has that similar commander style that you saw in the 19X, so you get that shortened sight radius, more of a full grip, get a little more manipulation control over that gun. It fits and carries inside the waistband to me just like my 43 does. It's very comfortable, easy to ride with in a car. And I think that 48 is just a wee bit longer, might dig in a little bit deeper into my hip as I'm driving.
Gotcha. Don, what's your?
They both shot about the same as far as feel goes. The only thing I can think is sight radius on the 48. A little bit longer, maybe give a little more accuracy.
Okay. Obviously, you probably have a tad bit more powder burning in the 48.
Yep.
So for the exact opposite reason of what you said, I think I would probably choose the 48, and here's the reason why. When I've carried some of the subcompact guns on an inside the waistband, the 43 being one of them, what I have found is from time to time, it will dig in because the barrel's too short, and so it digs into my hip or right behind my hip. It digs into that in an uncomfortable way. And so I find that I end up carrying my 19 more often. In fact, I don't carry my 43. I always carry my 19 because it's more comfortable, because it spreads that mass out over a bigger space, so it's not digging as bad. Now that may be different for each of us, and I think that's something that the viewers will have to figure out on their own, which one feels better. I know probably before I make my purchase, I'm going to stick each of them in a holster and I'm going to put it on. I'm going to wear it for a few minutes to see which one is actually more comfortable. I think that's ultimately what makes my decision. And I have a feeling for me, it's probably going to be the 43X. I do know this. I think Glock's got a winner here, and I think it's one of the coolest things that you guys have come out with in a long time. So I'm looking forward to shooting a lot more with these things, and quite frankly, I'm looking forward to probably carrying one here before too long. Maybe even keeping one as a backup. So,
well, and you mentioned, and I don't mean to change real quick, but we've talked about the length appendix, which has become huge lately.
Yeah.
That 43X gives you that full grip, that 19 style in a slender line, but yet it gives you enough room that you can sit comfortably in a car, and I think that's where that one's going to separate.
So I think the one other comparison we'll make here is let's take that 48 and stick it next to a 19 and see what the actual differences are on barrel length, on slimness, and that way we'll give our viewers a little bit of a comparison there as well.
Absolutely.
And we also should take either one of them and lay it next to a 43 as well to see that small difference in grip.
Yeah. All right, so if you look here, we have the Glock 19 next to the Glock 48, and it literally looks basically like it's a slim Glock 19. Here's the difference for a person that has small hands. This is where it comes into play. It's not so much the width of this, although that does impact it, but for someone who has shorter fingers, it's the distance from the back strap to the front of the trigger. That's what prevents somebody from getting a proper grip angle on the firearm when they're making their shot. With the 43 or the 43X and the 48, the distance from here to here, and Woody, you may know the exact number, but it appears to be maybe a couple of millimeters or a millimeter shorter in stretch.
Yeah, I don't know the exact number. I do know that it is just a little bit deeper, gives a little bit more of a beaver tail on both of the new models, so you get that extra protection of the web of the hand, but you also get that closeness to the trigger.
Getting just up a little bit closer to it. I like that a lot. In fact, it's something I've been searching for a long time, not just among Glock. Literally anything out on the market, I've been looking for a firearm that fits my hand better, that still is something that I can rely on.
Right.
Now, we're going to do the same comparison with a Glock 43 and the 43X. Now, if you look here, basically same gun, and you're going to find everything is basically the same. Looks like the reach is the same. You're getting just a little more wide, so it's almost like instead of being a staggered or double stack, it's like a just a slightly staggered stack and a half. Now we're going to add to this mix, if you want to zoom out just a little bit so that people can see all of these side by side.
Steve, just so you know, the 48 and the 43X are right at about 1 millimeter wider than the 43.
Excellent.
So it's not much.
Right. But you're gaining those extra rounds.
Correct.
All right, so to make sure you understand what we have here, we have a Glock 19, a Glock 48, a Glock 43X, and the Glock 43. We're going to take a quick look at the Glock magazines. We're going to start off, here you have your double stack Glock 9mm mag. That carries your 15 plus your one in the chamber. This is going to be the magazine that is fitted for your 48 and your 43X, and that's going to fit 10 plus 1 in the chamber. And then next to it you have your 43, which is slightly more narrow than the 48/43X magazine. So you cannot take this mag and stick it into into the 43 firearm. It doesn't fit. The magazine is the right length for a proper grip purchase, in my opinion, and it's an acceptable thickness. It gives you good capacity. I am honestly looking forward to potentially making this at least a time-to-time new carry gun. All right, guys, hopefully we've answered some of your questions on the Glock 43. We want to thank Glock for bringing them out before they released them to give us a chance to get the video up and running. I believe you guys have a winner here, and I look forward to owning one myself. I kind of thought you'd bring me one as a gift today.
Yeah, I'm a little more shallow than that.
All right, so guys, let us know your thoughts. Post down below and let us know whether you would buy the 43X or the 48, or maybe you're not a Glock guy. Let us know what you think and why.
I'll say if you have any additional questions, feel free to check down below, let us know, and we'll get them answered best we can.
Absolutely. Take care, guys. Thanks. Hey, guys. Steve and Don here from Top Guns out of Terre Haute, Indiana, and today we have... Whoa, my voice!
And maybe it's just a little bulky for the way you dress or your body shape. That 48 is just going to fill that void.
I apologize. Don missed the first part of that conversation. So he's just going to answer random questions that he wants to instead.
Go 48.
All right. So can you see a reason that a person would choose the 48 over the 43X? Why would somebody want the extra barrel length on there instead of going with the most compact version? Or do you believe the 43X would be the logical route to go? Which one would you choose?
Personally, I would take the 48. That little bit of extra grip length, I think, is the factor for me.
I want to apologize again. He clearly doesn't know what fucking video we're making. It's the same length.
This is a shield video, right?
It's the same length.
Could be.
It's the same length grip. It's the same grip.
Yeah, the grip.
That's why we're interchanging the mags, fuckhead.
I thought you said the grip was longer.
Nope,
Yeah, well, you know, it's
grips are the
fucking. So the thing I like is the barrel. I didn't say grip. I said barrel. That barrel's slightly longer.
He does like a longer barrel.
You know, the fact that it has cocking serrations is nice.
They both have them. Mm-hmm. All right. All right.
We're just going to go ahead and...
Yeah, I'm sorry I invited him into the conversation.
I was doing great over there by myself.